Let's go. And we're back. Dabu 7, Underground World News Live, here on this 3/16/2026. Good evening, mic check, much love, Steely right out the gate, legendary, all praise to the Most High. Thank you for the super chat. Bone Score, a member of the Underground here for what, 14? It already slid off the top. I can't see it anymore, but I think it said 14 months. Thank you. Much love to the fullest. Everybody with the quick feedback there. Flip. E Fits. No, Deanne, we're not. Just X and YouTube tonight. For right now. I've had a lot going on, and I need to go in there and mess with it. Rumble's kind of weird. Even when everything's set up good, like every other stream, you got to go in and reestablish the connection. It's really weird. The rest of them, you just jump on here and go. Crown Jewels Music Group in the house. Much love, Fire to Flame. Kiki D, got a hot one coming. Got some music, man. Been working on. And as soon as I get it mastered, it'll be a couple weeks. But I will say this. Let's start off tonight just by letting folks know that this is how long it takes. If you were here when I debuted the the song Yeah Yeah with Hoodie Ross on the stream. Well, I just now got the link for today. So those that like the music, um, I've got it kicked out on X. You can find it on all platforms. Just type in Dabu7. You'll find the music, the latest one right there. And I'm wondering what to do here. Crown Jewels hit me up, thinking about going through someone else for distribution. Kind of need to talk to you about some things, brother. But much love to you, everybody in the UK. Again, those looking for the music, you can find a link on my X. Those new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Check in on the daily because they don't like to send out notifications at all. Do the same thing on the X. Just stop in, check on my channel, and you will be surprised, more than likely, that there's posts there that you've never seen. So that's the name of the game when you're dealing with someone like me, because I'm posting every day, like all the time. And Anita, much love. Salutes to everybody across the pond, everybody worldwide. I hope you're doing well. We got a lot to cover tonight. Again, thank you for the super chats, any PayPals, any coffees. All that is appreciated. All prayers appreciated to the fullest. All shares appreciated to the fullest. And yeah, man, let's and again, thank you, Steely. Much love. Let's get this thing going. We're gonna start off here up in space. We've got a handful of sunspots making their way around toward us, like Earth facing. All the ones you see on the disc over here, they're the primary ones we're watching. 4392, 4394, 4395. This area right here has already produced an M2.7 class solar flare, and that's going to be heading our way. It doesn't have a time here. Let me see. Oh, March 19th is when they expect this to hit. So we do got an incoming CME, and it could cause for some auroras like you've seen in the opening shot. If you guys capture any auroras or anything out there, man, let me know. Dabu7 at yahoo.com. I'd love to share it, get it out there for people to see. All right. An update on the gravity holes. It was a couple months ago or so, I was talking about this gravity hole. It's interesting because Antarctica is interesting. The planet's interesting, all in all. One of the biggest downfalls that I see about this life is that we as humans are utilized as like slaves. We should be like, hey, everybody in the chat want to go down Antarctica this weekend, go on an expedition. Everybody's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, man, meet me down here at this port, load up on the boat, and we're gone. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be. We should be free to explore this place. But that's really the last place that they want us to be, is Antarctica, or exploring, period. Because once you start exploring, you start discovering that there's stuff hidden, buried all across this planet that tells that, I mean, this place is like a petri dish. Like, life's been here over and over and over and over and over and over again. From what I've seen, going back hundreds of thousands of years. This is Antarctica. I mean, here, let me scroll down. There's an image here. You've seen this. I've shared this before. This is actually just one of many spots, different locations in Antarctica that have pyramid-shaped structures. This one stands out. There's another area has smaller pyramid shaped structures. Again, it's all under snow and ice. But what others don't know is when you get to the interior of Antarctica, you come across lush green land. Now, how is this all of a sudden when everything's ice? And then you always hear mention of the ice wall, and you see images of a huge ice wall, that they can get over, they can get on top of. We've seen choppers landed on top of it and ships pulled right up to it. And a lot of times that's how you get onto the continent if you want to get into a certain area, to a certain base. They've got to pull some maneuvers. Now, it's been said, even Hitler said that this was where his dream base was to be established, one that no one could ever touch, and that you would literally have to go underneath the ice cap in a submarine and come up into it to access it. Now, all that sounds wild and crazy, but let me tell you, like, no one can go down here. Some kid tried to take a flight down here recently. He thought he'd be slick. He was trying to capture the youngest pilot to ever hit all the continents. And of course, you had to hit Antarctica to make it happen, right? Well, he had a scheduled stop in like Chile, and he overshot it. And he went on down and he landed. You talk about brazen. He landed down here. Man, he better have had cameras rolling. He was by himself though. So probably not. Maybe like one camera, but not what I'm looking for. Like, you should have, knowing you're going to do that, you have cameras on like both wings, on the belly of the plane. You've got like the whole thing equipped, even trying to go live, like while you're flying into there, because you're going to capture so many things that zip by in the air, in the water. I've never seen, outside of the North Pole, I've never seen such a protected space on the planet, an entire continent. The North Pole is out in the middle of the ocean, for crying out loud. And it's what? You can't even go up there. It's covered in ice as well. And of course, Admiral Byrd said that he flew into a hole in the North Pole. And there's all these documented accounts about just that, a hollow earth, an entrance. Look, I'm sitting on the biggest cave system on the planet, Mammoth Cave, right here in Kentucky. It runs deep. Every year they're finding new mileage. They add new mileage, but they don't show or let the public go down. Think about that. There's a spot where it forks off, and you know that you're going off the main trail when it does. And you ask yourself, like, you wonder what's down that deep, dark crevice, and it's massive. This place is definitely hollow in nature. The Hopi said it. A lot of ancients have said it. And I got to keep saying it. Tucker Carlson, love him or hate him, he reaches millions. This is why I say it. He told everybody that there's life here. He told his audience there's life here. Inside the planet that's hollow, which is key, and on the ocean floor. Every single bit of it is the truth. So others are not doing that. So I give props or props are due, whether I've called him before, a shill. He feels like a shill, right? But when people speak truth is truth, man. Period. And that's what people got to understand. They get hung up on a character. No. You don't do that. We told you that before. You don't fall in love with any characters with the way they look, the way they talk. That's what gets you. Right? You go for the truth at all times. Right? It could be some little old decrepit old man sitting there, but he's spewing the truth. You don't like the way he looks, don't like the way he sounds, but he's spitting the truth. You should listen. You see? But, they're masters of the shillery. And we won't stop till they arrest Bill and Hillary. Clip that, throw that in a song, yeah? Right? Got one coming for you. Anyway, Antarctica, man, I'd love to go down there on an expedition. I doubt it ever happens. I applaud whoever does it, whoever attempts to do it, if they can. in this slave world because I think you'll find some amazing things. At some point, maybe truths are told, but that's not going to be until like a disclosure type thing, in my opinion. Because once a disclosure happens, you can't, I guess they could do anything, but like once you do that, they're going to be like, okay, like so many things come unraveled. You understand? Like, again, they're staying on the ocean floor inside the planet. They're going to say these things. Things about this planet are going to become known, not hidden anymore. Of course, there's going to be deception, but there's going to be truths that have to come out of this. Um, a lot of times people ask me, you talk about these things going into the water. How is it possible? Blah, blah, blah. How are they not hitting fish and whales? And how are they not, how's all this stuff? Look, man, you got to take the time to understand the technology that we're dealing with. I update on this. Some people miss it. But when you're dealing with a classic UFO, what we know of for sure now is that they operate by creating a bubble around them. Okay? You ain't seeing it, but it's a bubble of like a vacuum of space time. And this is what causes them to be able to lean into any way they want and go anywhere they want. And this is what causes them to be able to literally pass through and traverse through objects like this, like at even water, and there not even be a splash. And to go thousands of miles an hour at the same rate. It's something people got to really stop and start to wrap their head around when it comes to new technologies because there's new stuff being dropped. Okay? Technology out there in front of us. And they're probably looking like, man, half the audience, half the people out there are freaking retarded, is what they're saying. Seriously, and no offense saying that, but that's what they're saying because they've shown you they've shot a UAP with the Hellfire rocket. And like the people are like docile. It's the best word I ever know how to use. They just sit there staring like a deer in headlights, like dumb, drool coming out of their mouth, like so messed up from all the fluoride and all the injections, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But like they've shown us this stuff. It's not hidden anymore. And like people still, I don't get it. They just they won't absorb the knowledge. And that's going to be to the detriment because what that means is when these things come flying around in the sky, those are the people that can be freaking out. They didn't listen this whole time. They didn't watch the entire time. They're dropping breadcrumbs. It's obvious. We're in the midst of disclosure. That's huge. It only happens once. It's happening. It's happening. Soft disclosure, slow motion. They even told us the time frame. Throughout last year and into this year. Last year went like that. Flew by. This year, third month, ripping through it. Yes, Kev Bar, warping space and time, and thank you for that, brother. I don't know. All this stuff is intriguing to me. It's at the top of everything because the great deception comes here, but also great technology, great power comes within this. And I look at what we're doing, like we don't have a chance at this point, I feel, because no one's doing anything. We should be training robots and AI to do good things. It's just like all the bad guys doing stuff out here. The good guys have like no hope. There's like they have no funding, they have no backing, they have no support. So you could do none of these things. And you could never fight back. So there has to be a good guy at some point materialize into this realm that's able to hand off a large load of money, even if every time they do, just like they're over there trying to strike these Iranian, the Ayatollah, and everyone, they're going to kill everybody, but you got to be able to hand off the power to someone else. You can't be afraid. And I see fear all over the place here, and that's the biggest problem. That's why we get nowhere in America. It's just pure fear. Um, no one riding for nothing, but you know, I, I try to maintain that there's a chance that at some point something's going to rise up here to where we can do something. But again, to be honest about the whole thing, the only change that's going to come through is if like there's some backing to it or the people come together. And as long as the people are comfortable, from what I've seen, they can do anything as long as they're comfortable. So it's only in a moment of crisis you'll have a chance, but then they're going to be running around like chickens with their heads cut off because they didn't pay attention to anything that we said this whole time. Like when this big event hits, you'll see it in real time. Um, I'm seeing more and more people talk about it too. The big event coming, we all know it's an economic event, and it could be tied into physical events. I say that because Iran has specifically said that they will target now the physical banks out there, and warned people to stay a kilometer away from US and Israeli banks. The warnings have been put out there. People are so short-minded and ignorant. This in this day and age of information and entertainment, they're just off to the next thing. Even as soon as this whole show's over, off to the next thing, they forget about half of everything that I said. And especially the warnings. That's the biggest thing. This isn't like yesterday or the day before, the week before, the year before. We have chalked beef with the biggest, baddest, most dangerous cartels on the planet. And now, Muslim groups that have waged jihad on us because we've killed the Ayatollah Khomeini. And it doesn't look like they're done. You have blowback that you have not seen, America. You have people that are gearing up, that are strapping up for war. And you better get ready for war. They're going to bring it here to the home front. They already have. It's obvious. And boy, oh boy, it's just kicking off. I expect these crazy events to continue. It's been quiet here thus far. This week, we're just getting going, right? So I expect this week to have something happen tied into this, some kind of event. At this rate, you've got to see that. You have the tools. You know this much. Like, I don't know where, but we know something's going to happen. I would watch large events, especially these soccer events as time goes by and we get into the summer. They're trying to downplay all this. Like, Trump can just go around and he can kill whoever he wants, however he wants, and there's going to be no repercussions. I'm going to tell you, they're back. You understand? They're going to hit back. If you want to hear it or not, you accept it or not, you prepare for it or not, they're going to hit back. And this is a setup. Of course they're going to hit back. When the people supposed to be protecting us lay down or like are not even there, it's a setup. And that's what we're under right now. You've got so many Chinese that snuck in here. There should be like everyday news of them rounding up Chinese out of this location, that location. We know that they own property next to our military bases. I say it all the time. They've said it, but yet they've done nothing about it. There's the enemy sitting right there, but yet they do nothing about it. It's called a setup. It's called a setup, but people are so stupid. They won't even hold their government accountable for nothing, let alone go knocking on the door like, yo, you gonna do something about these Chinese, like now that are here illegally? There's probably like 1 million next to this one base on this huge property, and you guys know about it, but like, you're doing nothing about it. And like, I could feel something coming. It's destined to happen. Their forward troops, think about this in a military sense, their forward troops are already in. they've been in. They've been in for years. They're just kicked back on their farms right next to our bases, just sitting there smiling, waving at troops like, haha, we're going to kill you here as soon as we get the bat signal. Uh, you know, and if it happens, who's to blame? How could we sit here and talk about something like this in the open for this long and it not be a setup? Yet the people around you, everyday Americans, are just oblivious to it. Duh. Those people are going to get us all killed. It's why I fight the fight that I fight, to wake up the masses. I can't beat the censorship, but that's why we do it. That way, in the end, we could say we did everything we could to air it out, to reach as many people. Because that's what it's about. If you're not fighting the good fight, you're slacking. You're losing in the end. This life isn't for nothing. What sucks is when people find out in the end that it's for something, and they've lived a majority of their life doing nothing. You got to live fighting the fight, man, the positive fight. In my opinion, there's something higher watching all this. They're watching it, like sitting on the other side of a double glass window that you can't see them. You don't know that they're there, but they're there watching, just like you're in an interrogation room. They're watching everything, assessing everything. Come on, man. Look around you. Everything that's created here, you don't think somebody's watching it? Get out of here. Like a hawk. So, I suggest everybody do the good thing, the right thing, because it's going to be asked. Your energy is going to be asked and thrown on scales, everybody, whether they believe it or not, on what you did in this life. And when it doesn't amount to nothing, it's going to suck for you. You could have simply held the door for someone, helped somebody do this or that. Those are the things you're capable of doing that there's no excuse for. Don't have to have no money for that. Don't have to have nothing for that. It's how you are with people, right? Even that's why they say pray for your enemy, love your enemy. Because even if it's someone you don't like walking up to the store right behind you, you would still hold the door. Instead of trying to let it slam in the face. Right? Can you overcome the evil here? That is the question. That's why you're here. If no one ever told you that, never told you that in school, in church, never told you that anywhere, you were here to overcome the evil that tests you every single day. Somewhere along the lines, you signed a contract, you entered this place for it. I suggest next time, if you can't handle it, don't sign the contract. And don't come back in this place. I'm not so sure some people got a chance or an opportunity. They could just be getting regurgitated because we're getting our memory wiped. And I think it's really about when you raise, that's why they tell you all the time, raise your vibration, your frequency. Something higher will see you. It will see that you did it. See that you listened. What do you mean listened? See, somebody told us what to do, how to live, but people don't want to hear that. People just want to do what they want and be devils and joy. It's all they want, and because of that, they'll stay cycling in to here. Yeah, they enjoy it so much, they'll just stay cycling back into this low level crap. I won't come back in. Like I'm here doing the work now. If I have it my way, and I suggest you do too. You prove right now that you're worthy of moving to a higher level. I see you there, right? So let me keep going here. California startup here is going to put nukes in the ground in California. Just a heads up. I don't know if I'd pick this place to do this, knowing that it can have some big earthquakes. In terms of California, but they're not talking about that. They're talking about going to Kansas. Now, this is interesting because this is a spot where odd quakes have popped up over the years, and I associate it with fracking. largely out there. Oklahoma, Kansas, the same thing, even down to Texas. Some of the odd earthquakes we've seen over the years have been right there in fracking country. It's no secret. Very shallow, low magnitude. Sometimes they start swarming, sometimes they've gotten big, so much so that they've had to stop the fracking. So it's again, it's not a secret. Okay, so now they want to put nuclear boreholes here. Like, anybody out there live in Kansas? Like, raise your hand. Like, you might want to look into this because, like, in your backyard here somewhere, and this sucks for anyone east. If a disaster happens in Kansas, you know the weather pattern all runs west to east in the U.S. The jet stream dips down through there and everything else. Something happens, it's going to carry it all straight east, right into the Midwest, to the East Coast. I mean, it's in a bad spot for that, if you ask me. Anyhow, again, what's going to happen? It's going to happen is what's going to happen because people don't rise to do nothing. People don't go to board meetings, town hall meetings, like nothing anymore for the most part. I hope people step up in protest deep fishing in Kansas. Okay, so they've already started to drill on March 10th, so it's going down. You have a chance to stop this, though. Okay, this is 130 miles east of Wichita. You have a chance to stop it before the nukes go into the ground, and I don't know. There's a lot going on here. Just heads up. Gonna keep it going here. We've got Doug Berman talking about all these energy deals and how basically that's what this whole thing's for. I'm not going to play this whole piece, but just a bit of it on the importance here of minerals. We know this. I mean, this is largely why Trump is trying to go wage war all over the place. Minerals, Greenland, minerals, Venezuela, minerals, all this mineral, right? So
joining me now in the Sunday Morning Futures exclusive, live from Japan for talks about energy security with Indo-Pacific allies, is the U.S. Interior Secretary, Doug Burgum, who has just locked up some $57 billion in some 20 new deals with Asian partners around energy security. Secretary Burgum, it's great to have you. Thank you so much for being here. And before I get to all of those agreements and the deals that you are going to be announcing momentarily, let me ask you about the Strait of Hormuz. Will Japan send ships to the Middle East to join this fight and stop Iran from holding up the Strait of Hormuz?
Well, the discussion with many partners, as President Trump stated in his truth, is happening. And those discussions will lead to who eventually wants to participate in a task force to ensure freedom of navigation. But certainly there's a motivation for countries. Japan itself, I mean, this is a country of 120 million people. 93% of the oil that they receive comes through the Strait of Hormuz. Korea, another great ally of ours in the Pacific, it's over 70% of their oil coming through the Strait of Hormuz. So there's a deep vested interest in these countries participating, and the same for China. China itself, the largest importer of oil in the world, 11.5 million barrels of oil a day, over half of that. They're the largest in terms of barrels coming out of the Strait of Hormuz. So there's lots of countries separate from the war conflict, but just ensuring freedom of navigation. Lots of folks are entirely dependent on this, and in the case of China and Iran, I mean, this is going to be a decision for China. Are they going to allow their own economy to be hurt by continuing to support a terrorist regime that's terrorizing the world economy?
So, all right. He said China. I'm just going to pause it there. When we get to the war stuff, I'm going to lay out the whole thing with China here and what's going on. And people really need to understand what's happening here. This is the push. This is it. This is where they're trying to break away from the US dollar and the use of it big time. And it's going to happen centered around these areas. Especially here now, like Iran's not backing down. There's no peace talks as you're going to see. Trump and all they could say this and that. They're They're carrying this on. If they know Trump and them want to end this, they're not going to let it end soon, because that's just another way to say, for them to say, F you, so to speak, in return, because they're pissed. So a lot of this war stuff connects to the economy, obviously. So I will circle back around on to that one. Let's look at the jobs here real quick. Meta, that runs Facebook, plans 20% of layoffs. Why? That's 20%. Why? That money is going to go to data centers. And what are the data centers doing? They're the brain for the AI. So this is all connected to the AI. Again, more layoffs here. Because they know it's going to be expensive in terms of trying to fund all this. Honda, they project its first loss since 1957. That's insane. First loss since 1957? I mean, you should know there's some good running cars out there and manufacturers, Honda, Toyota, out there at the top. From what I've seen over the years that come out of the Asian district, that have been reliable, get a lot of miles out of like the motors, things like that, dependable. I come up at a day and age where there were certain groups of guys out there. There was nothing but like little groups that had nothing but Hondas and stuff like that, and like stuff like that, all tricked out. So I know that they've seen good days in the past. But to log your first loss since 1957, this shows that you've had a really good, profitable track record, right? So 15.7 billion was lost, and this is for one reason and one reason alone. EV. They got duped into it, and they made a bad choice, and it happens, right? If they wouldn't have done this, they wouldn't even be logging this massive loss, which is, this goes to show again that they're a reliable vehicle and source out there. But they put a lot of money into this whole EV thing, and it failed. And at least they're admitting that it's failed, right? So this has affected jobs the same way. But when EV is folding up like this out there, I think people need to understand that it's not working. I wouldn't be getting in the stocks, period, at this point, but not EV stocks. I see people saying some crazy stuff out there, but let's go to the supply chain in terms of EVs. What's this one say? A wave of layoffs across U.S. supply chain. Okay. What's it all connected to? From EV battery plants to auto parts factories to warehouses and terminals. 4,000 workers in recent weeks. There's been a recent WARN filing. This company announcement shows job cuts across at least a dozen companies in states including California, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, Ohio, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Alabama. The largest layoffs here in the recent wave are coming from the automotive and industrial supply chain. SK Battery America said it laid off about 1,000 people. It's about 37% of its workforce. And its electric vehicle battery plant in Commerce, Georgia, is citing a shift in EV demand. Now, we knew this was going to come. This has a lot of people going into bankruptcy. Like the whole AI thing is affecting a bunch of this stuff, because, like, in a different way. AI is getting a lot of the attention in money flow, just like the data centers here, like you just seen with Meta. But when it comes to EV, and people don't like it. I don't like it. I don't care for it. Who wants to try and drive a golf cart across the country? I don't want to. Who wants to sit something that's slow and stalls at a red light? I don't want to. I don't even like the vehicles that are gas that shut down at the red light. I don't think so. You won't catch me in one. No. I mean, come on. Like, who wants to be in something? I mean, like, being able to hit the gas and take off at a moment's notice could be a matter of life or death. So, you know, you're sitting there and you're at a light and you see, I don't know, out of the corner of your eye, maybe even the rear view, somebody's barreling towards you and they're not stopping. You can hit the gas, you can get out of the way. But, like, that's not going to happen if you got to sit there and you got to start wait for the vehicle to start and all that. Same thing if somebody comes running up on you, like do a drive-by on you or something crazy. Like, we could do, tell them, oh, hold on a second. We got to wait for the vehicle to start. Let me drive off. I don't think so. I don't like it. But EVs, look at this. Let me flip the spectrum here. You tell me why. You tell me why. With EV failing in this place flooded with Chinese that shouldn't be here, you've got a Chinese EV push into the America. So it's not just North America, it's South America as well, but it's everywhere. They're pushing this new EV model. It's like, hold up. How can you even allow this right now? I'm serious. How can you even do it? You've got Chinese crawling all over the place. You don't trust them for nothing, is what you're constantly saying. You've put up warnings saying that no one can even use the DJI drones, Chinese drones, because they lead in that field. The military can't use it. Like, why would you let the alleged enemy put potential bombs in here? Like, I don't trust nothing. And it's not conspiracy. I mean, you're dealing with a world that has an Israel in it that laces explosives into everything, into the cell phone that you got sitting next to you. They'll detonate it at their time of choosing, right? That's what Bibi said. Got a cell phone? You're holding a piece of Israel. That was a warning after they blew everybody apart with pagers and computers and electronics. Everything had little bits of C4 and explosives in it. At their moment of choosing, people could have had equipment sitting there for months and years, and then finally it just blew up when they hit the button. That happened. That's not conspiracy, folks. That happened. That's the sickness of Mossad. There should have been there is. I was going to say there should have been like international criminal arrest warrants issued for the dude for doing stuff like that. But there is. But your president, because he ain't mine, Trump, that chump, bows down to him. And we're going to get to the whole Bibi thing here later. It's very interesting with these AI videos. And the fact that he's missed 7 main military defensive cabinet meetings in a row, which has never happened before. That right there to me is the telltale sign this dude's dead, injured, or in hiding the same way. Because since they hit and killed his brother, we've not seen a real proof of life at all. Everything has had AI written all over it. Even Grok has said every video thus far has been AI. And I'm going to show you more proof tonight and things to look for. Like, when in one frame he's got a ring on his finger and the next frame, like, he doesn't. Like, dead giveaways, if you're paying attention, that it's all fake. And that's the newest one that they put out today. Like, the newest one. Trying to say all this stuff. So, we're in a world of deception right now. I trust nothing. So, look, even, you guys remember the Cybertruck that blew up in front of a Trump building back at the beginning of the year, like last year? Is a warning. Even them Cybertrucks can get hijacked and turned into bombs. Oh, yes, They can. You tell me how they can't. How could someone not program it to drive somewhere right now as it sits, any of them, all right? And the vehicle doesn't know that it's packed full of whatever they put in it, C4 or whatever else they load it with. But it's given directions to drive to a place with no humans even in it. They can drive up to any location loaded and go off. Can it not? Oh, yes, it can. Hello? This already happened once, and it was a warning. And again, people are so short-minded, short memory. They forget about these things. It's going to happen again. So I think about all that when it comes to Chinese vehicles entering in here. I just do. If it was a different world, peaceful world, things weren't crazy on the verge of World War III, and they weren't hacked in all of our stuff, embedded into our water, all of our infrastructure, our electric, and they've told us all this, sit next to our military bases. I mean, all of it, man. Oh, I go on and on. You already know. It's set up. It's a setup. So the enemy's here, and they're pushing in these Chinese electric vehicles. Like, man, run for the hills. You see one of these things. Like, where do the super rich reside around the planet? This is how you know we're all getting played. The US or China. You either live in the US or China. Super rich. Top of the game. Trickling in behind it is a little bit of India, Germany, followed by Russia. But yeah, China dwarfs. I mean, you've even got Germany and India ahead of Russia there. So it's top. It's the U.S. and China. I mean, we're going head to head here. If something happens to us, they're going to knock us off our perch, and China will potentially be able to claim the top spot for I don't know. As they say it, it's not going to be a single polar world. It's going to be a multipolar world order. They've already said it right now. It's like already begun. They've already established this. This is the language coming out of their mouth. The whole reason they surrounded the Caribbean with warships, retreating from that side of the globe to defend the Western Hemisphere, the home front. That was their excuse. China, man. All right, let's get into some urgent updates here. This is a warning for anyone out there that takes supplements. A bunch of these sold on Amazon and eBay, and they contain poison. FDA warning against the use of 29 different brands, these supplements that claim to contain tejicote, and this is a Mexican root, or Brazil seed, which are high in vitamin C and other antioxidants. But the problem here is that the supplement actually contains yellow oleander instead of the labeled ingredient. Now, yellow oleander is a poisonous plant native to Mexico. And so switching it out causes huge concern. This can lead to neurologic, gastrointestinal, cardiovascular, all these different health effects. Sound like something you've been dealing with? If you've been taking something that contains this could be causing it. Again, this could lead to a lot of different adverse health effects, including death, is what it says. Cardiac arrest, abdominal pain, confusion. So you might want to look into this, man. There's a long list, too much to even name. I'm gonna show it on the screen though, and I'm gonna scroll down through it. Again, they're all bought at different places, and they all got recalls. But you can see here, like Numi, Vitaslim, Chupapanzum, kind of scroll here. Applopotec, Nawali, H in natural, Science of Alpha Mexican, ELV King, all natural. So that rings a bell. Heads up, man. Huge recall. That is a lot of different brands. 20 some different brands. It's a lot. All right. Alaskans. If anyone out there can hear me, I don't know if we got anyone up in Alaska listening or not, but much love. You carry the most lifetime credit card debt of all Americans. Iowans, the least. So, kind of zoom in here on the image, state by state. You can kind of see there. The lowest, Iowa, there. And right behind it, Kentucky, West Virginia, Wisconsin. But then you've got, Alaska, Hawaii, Texas on the other end of the spectrum. Up there, Florida, Colorado. In terms of the credit card debt, I guess you know better than anyone. The water crisis, not good. I update on this as much as possible, but when they're sitting there popping off stories left and right these days, it's really concerning. There's shortages, water situations popping up. The infrastructure is just done, aged, underfunded, falling apart. So it's a problem right here. U.S. officials have seen coming this for a decade. A 2014 U.S. government accountability report found that 40 out of 50 state water managers anticipated supply shortages in their state under average conditions within 10 years. Now, we're there. We're past that. We're over that. So fast forward to last year, 75% of U.S. city officials said that more than half the business execs said they expect water risks to outpace all the other infrastructure threats from here forward. So water, power is going to be huge. It already is. I've talked about the situation in California. I've talked about the water rights passing through, multiple states, Nevada, Arizona. When it comes down to like wartime, some of these places could cut California off from water. That would decimate them. It would be. So they have to watch how they treat and do these other places. And it's really tricky out there. Anyway, with the fuel thing, anyway, I've mentioned this with, again, Arizona, with Las Vegas. Certain places got their infrastructure set up to run only fuel that's processed out of California. So if they can't get it there anymore, they got to redo all their infrastructure. And anything can happen here. It's like they're trying to rip this place apart. Civil war. What do you do when life-changing, life-saving water is passing through your state, going to somewhere like California, and you can't touch it or tap into it because they have some kind of right over you? When it comes down to life or death and that gets cut off, I'm telling you, it almost is like a war thing. Like, would they send troops up into wherever they're cutting off the water to let it flow again? Would they bomb the dam, or something crazy? I'm putting nothing past them at this point, but it's like it's coming at this rate. Infrastructure falling apart, and I hear it from you guys all the time that your water is brown or green or looking like that right there. Has a funny smell to it. You'd never drink it in a million years. But it's like, okay, people got to shower in all this stuff. Like, that's why I urge people spend the extra money and put a filtration system on your house. Okay? A few $100, maybe $500, it'll be well worth it. Replace the filters like every year or whatever it calls for. And also put them on your shower heads, filters. You can't go wrong there. It's the best. It's at least the least you could do. Get your water tested as well. They sell kits out there. There's places you can send it off to. If it's looking like that, I mean, I've seen some terrible water in some cities, man. Can't believe it, but again, the infrastructure is really old, man. Like way older than a lot of us, and falling apart. It's bad. So let's jump into silver. Wonder what the price is on that right now. We get a look. Whatever dip below 80. No, still holding 81.25. It's pulled back. This is at a buy a few range, in my opinion, but not financial advice. It's always worth seating and grabbing a handful anywhere below 100 that you can afford. Of course, we're waiting for a pullback to like back down to like 60s is preferable. I mean, it went down, did it once already. I don't know if we'll see it again or not, but that's why you average in. But we're looking for 60 to $70 range. That's the all day, unload, pick up as much as you can there. Dips down further. Well, it dips down further. That's where you get more. You buy more. Dips down to $50 silver. Like that'd be a blessing. But if you spend all your money in the $60, $70 range, well, that's why we talk about averaging in again. You want to think about that. At least keep like 200. If you got 1,000 and you end up dumping 800 of it in that range, hold on to 200 just in case. Because if it hits the $50 range, it's going to be well worth it. They are about to have a call on this. If you don't know, the market's like rigged. It's like stupid rigged. JP Morgan Chase, the big banks, they're primarily responsible for this. They get caught. They're allowed to keep on pushing, which is insane, ridiculous. You get caught rigging markets, but you're allowed to keep on controlling them. Get out of here. But that's the truth. That's what happens. So we are currently in a situation where JP Morgan Chase, like if they fail, if that bank goes down at any point in time, like this whole thing is going to capitulate. Especially because they control so much. And they're in control of the price of silver and gold. And a lot of people are like, hold on, what's going on here? Like in this war setting, it should be running harder in this and that. Well, should be. Other people are looking at it and like, but the same thing I'm telling you right now. The money masters are controlling you. When the West loses control of this whole thing, you're going to see this thing run insane. That's what they're all warning. And when it's going to happen is when there's a call or run on the silver. It hasn't happened yet. Hasn't happened yet. All this talk, all this action, all this stuff that's went down, the major call has not happened yet. And they're saying here that when this does, silver's going to, and I said this before, silver will set off gold. And the most gains are to be made in silver, if you ask me, just by looking at it. This could run up to like $1,000 silver easily by the time gold gets to 25,000. And gold will easily do that within a decade. Many say 5. We just put it at a decade. Play it safe. If it does it in 5, more power to it. That means that we hit our goal twice as fast, and we can readjust once we hit it. If you don't know, the goal is out here for the underground right now. Stack as much silver, any precious metal, as much as you can from here on out. Become a stacker. but try to acquire 100 ounces of silver, if possible, even at 50 ounces of silver, whatever is within your range, and do so below 100 or around 100. And if you get a bunch right here around 80, it's okay. Keep buying up to 120 because you're going to average in around 100. You see? And that's the whole goal. If you get 100, averaged in around 100, you make this run for this 10 years, you're going to have a 10x on your money. And it's going to be huge. It's going to be a huge move. And again, in physical silver and gold, they can't just go capitulating the markets or collapse everything like the stock market tomorrow and take all your money. If you're holding the physical asset, they're going to have to come and take it from you, right? From everybody, independently, one by one. That's not going to happen. They could at some point down the road, some crazy event. A reminder, we don't know what's in Fort Knox. So remember, Elon teamed up with Trump in Doge and said they were going to go in there and they were going to show us with cameras what was going on. And we've never seen anything since. So stack your silver, your copper, your gold, your platinum, your palladium, your diamonds. I don't care what it is. Just stack it. Have something to barter. Oh, food expires. So if you're a grower, that's great. That's something huge to barter with. But all these other things, obviously, they're not going to expire like food. All right, so one more metal you want to add to your list: lead. And I'm talking ammunition. You can see right here, armor-piercing ammo is up 555%. America, so I don't know, off watching the game. I warned you that the next battle, major war, is not going to be fought between man. That's going to be moot. It's going to be between bots, largely, or bots wiping out man. That's the main prediction, is they're going to be used to call man. They have no conscience in terms of that. They're going to be programmed to come in and wipe people out. They already are. So, I tell you all the time, my example is a Tesla Cybertruck rolling up with 5 Tesla bots that are weaponized. And they all jump out and start going door to door, burning every home and killing all the people. Killing anything they pick up on their heat sensor, they shoot at. They're going to be weaponized now with lasers and the baddest equipment you could think of. These things are going to be killing machines. They're going to be able to see you through a wall. They're going to know what the wall's made of. They're going to know what kind of rounds they got. They're going to know if they can shoot through the wall and kill you instantly. Like, people are no match for this. So I told you this. I have told you this. Okay? And I've been saying this very heavily here recently. It must be in the air or a vibe. Like somebody else. The Chinese apparently picked up on this. I'll give them that. They're like, oh crap. You can see by the numbers. They've realized. Why Americans sit here with their thumb up, like, lost, not even planning for what's about to happen. They realize what's going down. And the only way to stop, this closest thing you're going to have, is armor-piercing rounds. If you don't have armor-piercing rounds, it's going to be like you got a BB gun out there against these things. You have to have armor-piercing rounds. So now they're up 555% while the sheep sleep. Are you kidding me? So good luck. I'm wondering why nobody was warning about this. Now it's like through the roof. You could try to stock up. Nobody cares, man. Till it's too late, man. All the time. It's why this place is screwed, largely. Everybody just wants to show up for entertainment, not do anything. If you got armor-piercing rounds, better hold on to every last one of them, and you know what to use them for. If you want some, it's through the roof. It's going to continue. Why? Because people are waking up and realizing everything that I've told you. So the exodus out of California here continues. We've got person after person leaving. And we've got another individual here fleeing. We'll play this clip here.
With Adams, how are you thinking about recruiting, and how are you going to change your approach to building the company? You've been kind of holed up in LA. This is your kind of hideout.
Yeah, totally.
But I imagine, like, do you push back into SF, go back to being the king?
Well, here. So first, let's just be clear. On December 18th, I moved to Texas.
Sure.
You know,
Great. Yeah.
I don't know what's so specific about December 18th, but let's just say it's prior to January.
Yep. Yeah.
I get a little bit FOMO on like these people going to Florida. I'm like, dude,
yeah, it's pretty nice out
why
there.
so much Florida action? Like, come on, homies. Like,
I know it's been a bloodbath for. Like,
it has been.
Every
Ken Griffin out there.
Going to Florida.
But like every weekend this year I've had this year's in Texas.
Yep.
You ever take calls while you're water skiing, like AirPods?
Dude, I should.
Be good.
I love it. Don't get me excited.
Ramp. Time is money. Save both. Easy use core.
So I was just basically showing you another guy with money, big dog, out of California, saying see you. The wealth tax and all that stuff there, they don't like the pressure. No one likes it. I mean, billionaire after billionaire running. And someone, thank you, Steve, for the coffees. Much love. Thank you for the support. I appreciate that to the fullest. 9:09. Me checking the time. See, that's what happens to me. 09:09. This happens to me all the time. I tell you synchronicities. The other side talking to me. It's all the time. And it's not in my key numbers. There's not like you could dive into this and make a lot more of this if you want to. Okay, but like I get 1111s, I get 111s, 222s, 444s, I get all that. I get 0606, 0505, 0909, 1010s. I get them all. Like that. But to me, like I don't sit there and waste the time of like 444 means this or 333 means this. I see it all as the other side just giving me the sign, a positive sign, a positive push. I can open up my phone a lot of times, like throughout the week, and I'll just look and say 144, 144. I'll look up and I see a commercial, and it has something stupid on it, and the number that they're showing on there for like the insurance premium or whatever is 144. You see what I'm saying? And like the synchronicities was just that's how it works with me. So again, people dive into that, but I love it. They're always all the way, all around me, all the time. So I want to point out that we are in a state of guards down. And like, if there's any time ever that we could get pissed off cartels, jihadis, all this stuff, that DHS is not funded right now. Can somebody riddle me that? Again, like we need some kind of like group or movement, protest, like down, like on Protest Street. We need something here that are like chanting this out every day and bringing this up, and like chanting outside while they're holding these White House press conference meetings, like so loud that like they can't hide it, like in the background, like We got to do something, like with bullhorns, all this other stuff. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen and people could do. It's just people are doing nothing. Something's got to give here. This is one of these things. DHS is this for no reason not funded right now. Like, we're sitting ducks. This is like one of the moments and times where, like, you can already tell, you can look back in the future and they're going to be like, yeah, there was a gap in security here. And this is how this happened. And this happened. And then boom. We're right before the boom. And everybody knows it. Don't know exactly what it's going to be, what the date is, but it's about to go down. Probably a series of events drawn out, to their advantage. And let me jump into crazy humanoid robots. This is and I just want to talk about how this works a little bit. You know the threat. I've been warned about it. Just talked about it. Rolling up into a neighborhood, jumping out of a Tesla. No one could stop them. They're replacing you in the workforce, left and right. And I mean, Kardashians and them are hiring them as security and butlers or whatever else. They can all be programmed for different things. But there's a way that these things are controlled, okay? Normally, it would be through, like, commands, right? Series of commands, and that's how you would control the robot. Just like anything else, like remote control, series of commands, and they use this through code, okay? Controlling in C++. If you don't know, C++ is the type of coding used to get all this information into a robot. Well, they have now moved to where they've deleted all the lines of C++ code, all of it, gone. And it's been replaced with a single, what they call neural network. And it controls the entire robot. The hands, the arms, the torso, the legs, the feet, full body coordination, real-time planning, dynamic response to unexpected situations. This is called the Helix 2. It's got a fundamentally different approach to robotics, and here's why it matters. Neural net learns from experience, not instructions. So you don't code a robot to grab a cup. You show it thousands of examples of grasping objects, different shapes, weights, materials, and it extracts the underlying patterns. It learns everything it needs from all that and then moves on. Okay? If you can do it, they're saying this robot can do it. And we're at that point now to where it's getting really scary. Because like lifting heavy items, for instance, in the warehouse, say there's a 50-pound, 75-pound item that like maybe a regular worker's not going to be able to lift over and over and over again to carry. This robot will do it with ease, with no constraints. Won't throw its back out on the floor and get a work claim. I'm going to tell you, just think about it. Filling your factory from a business perspective with robots that function, if you can do it and afford it, will ultimately save you in the long run so much more. It's crazy, because away goes all the hourly pay. You're not paying nothing per hour no more. You're not covering insurance on any of these bots anymore. You're not covering any workers' comp or any other things, any other claims and money on humans. It's all gone. And they like that. And that's not good for us at all. You know what's even scarier? When they put AI in charge of their business and optimizing and they say, AI, I want you to tell me what we need to do to make the most money for our company. You know what it's going to do? It's going to weed out the humans and replace it with bots. First and foremost, it's going to do this every time. Do you see now? So we're screwed in that department as well. You better be looking for a job either in that department, working with it, or something that humans going to be needed doing, like a plumber, a roofer, someone to come in, a handyman, someone that is skilled in all those things, repairing things like that. That's really going to be the go-to thing. Like, you mark my words. This is another prediction I put out there. Clip it and save it. 10 years from now, and look, it could happen so fast, it could come and go like a flash in a pan. But at some point, that's all you're going to see around town, all over the place, are vans, or work vans, handyman vans, or trucks. They're all going to be independent contractor, handyman. Guys, that's all it is. It's going to be everywhere. All over the place. I'm telling you. It's all there's going to be. And it's anything that a human can still do. You need someone to come out and do your lawn, or do your garden, plant the flowers, and do all this and that. I mean, at some point, the robots are going to catch up. They're going to catch up here in all this. It's a scary thing. In all of it. Will it be in our lifetimes? I fear so. I fear within 10 years, everything I'm telling you right now about even planting the flowers out in the yard and all this, like some robot's easily going to be able to walk up, grab the flowers, dig the hole, get down on its knees, put the flower in the ground, pat down all the stuff gentle, water it, their perfect amount, and all this. I'm telling you. It's a nightmare situation. I don't see any opportunity for humans here, especially when humans have sold us out. Like, we need representation right now more than ever, just for our being, our right to exist. Because the people that are billionaires that have sold us out don't care. They're like ready to find a way to off us, which is scary. I can see it now. Clearly. What are they going to do? What are you going to do? Put us all in universal basic income? Elon Musk has said it over and over and over. It's the only answer. Any humans that are left, that's what they're going to do with you. He even said here recently, all money's going to be obsolete. Everything, and that's coming from the richest man on the planet. Telling you that. Meaning he wouldn't even have that status no more. Because what would it be? There would be no more money. If there was no more, he wouldn't be the world's richest man. You see? Like, he even said it though. He said there will be no more money. Nothing will work like that. He said it all. People are not paying attention, man. Once this whole thing goes digital, it's the trap. And then once the trap is set, look, it's going to get down to where there's going to be a minimal amount of humans. And whatever's left, he wants to stick a chip in the freaking brain. So good luck following that dude into the hell pit. None of these guys are the good guy. You would figure one would want to spice the game up. Well, why? One would want to go and be like, hey, no one's representing the good guy. Like, why don't you all let me go over here and represent the good guy? And just get a little excitement out of this. Like, there's no one fighting back. Like, let's get a little something here, a little action, Like, let me go out here and fund some good guys, get something going. Something. Like, we got no chance at all at this point. Because it all kicks back to the funding for everything. We have to have a money man that's willing to fund the people righteously. And you just don't have it anywhere. Not a single billionaire. Not one. I can't even find a freaking millionaire out there willing to do it. Anyway, let's jump into some Epstein. Well, we'll play this clip here. It kind of explains it better than I'm going to be able to here on this situation, and then we'll recap on this.
Another record that caught our attention was a laundry list of recreational drugs. They look like party drugs. It's Xanax, Valium, ketamine, Vicodin, so painkillers, oxycodone. When you look at this list as a seasoned investigator, what does it tell you?
Well, it tells me that he was definitely getting specific drugs that are typically associated with partying or relaxing. For somebody who runs or ran an island and other locations where, parties occurred and specific people were coming there for specific reasons, it just looks to me like somebody who is getting a collection, just like they would in their cupboard, of food that they might need for the weekend vacation. And so I don't know if it goes any further than that. However, who is the pharmacy or the compounding pharmacy that he's discussing with to get these things? That's not a list that you would give a drug dealer typically with a price chart on it, or that you would get from a drug dealer. So who was this location that he was getting the drugs from? Because it's not typical to have an order sheet from a compounding pharmacy or pharmacy to get those things. Again, dates matter as well, because if this dates for these things are around an area where people were coming to that location, now you have more evidence that you can put together to build this big picture.
Any crimes that you see here, like drug trafficking, anything else like that?
I mean, it could be drug trafficking, especially if the witnesses that were sexually assaulted say that they were given a certain drug, which we do see. If that drug is on that list and it corresponds with that time, that could lead investigators down that path. But not just Jeffrey Epstein, but anybody who was supplying those things for him, knowing that it was not for, an issue for himself, that's illegal. I'm not sure how far they're really looking into this completely because of the ramifications of the people who were involved.
That's garbage. You're trying to tell me you're going to try to stop at the pharmaceutical level because of the ramifications of the people involved. I'm so sick of this. That guy just said, dude, I'm so sick of this. The corruption, the cover-up, this whole administration of fraud, zero arrests, and all this. Like, you live in one of the most corrupted times in history, and the government of the United States is that beast that runs it around the whole world. And Donald Trump leads that beast right now around the world. We live in the belly of that beast. And you wonder why. We're going to end up getting attacked, is all I keep thinking and seeing. That's what keeps getting thrown at me. I'm going to tell you, it keeps happening so much, and I'm going to tell you it's probably going to happen here very soon. Some events are going to happen. So they can keep running cover for their pedos. Yeah. Because that's what they're doing. I'm sick of it. This place is disgusting. It's pretty bad out here on the world stage when our country is going to war with someone like Iran, and Iran is hopping on the internet and, they're countering, firing back at Trump, because Trump loves to get on social media. He loves to do his posts, and they see this stuff. And they're firing back, and they're basically telling Trump that, well, I know the one way that they can hit us. And it's cyber. They've said this, it's on record. Even China is on record saying we don't have to go tit for tat with the U.S. The day we do it, we hit them one time, which would be cyber or an EMP, and they're done. All a setup to me. It's all a setup to me. Oh man, so much corruption. It's never going to stop, but it's so bad. It's so bad. To my point, it's so bad that when you're on social media, the Iranian regime is countering Trump with comments like, we will continue to dump as many rounds and drones and missiles as is needed against Israel and the Epstein pedo regime. What do? They're right. That's crazy because they're right in that statement. It sucks. I mean, look at the position we're in with cyber. Like, people need to protest, need to shout down and end this war, like, now. I fear it's too late. I fear that see, once you kill someone like the Ayatollah Khomeini, for the record book, someone will ride for him. Okay, someone's going to ride for him. Like, something's going to happen. I want to play this clip right here. Some of you guys may not follow him, this guy, or even know who he is, but it's Cain Velasquez. He is a former UFC fighter and champion. He chased down a guy that he suspected of molesting his son, and did his thing. And he just has a message here. He's free after serving some time for the attack, which in the situation, I think was ridiculous. But he just wants to thank everyone that supported him. And
hi, everyone. Now that it's been a couple weeks since my release, I've had some time to kind of get back into things, get back into a normal way of life, get used to just doing the normal things, being home with the family, being there for my kids. And I just wanted to thank everybody for their love and support. Your words of inspiration, of encouragement, constantly just lifted me up, myself and my family. So I just want to take this time here to thank everybody for their constant support. You have no idea what your words and your my family. So just thank you. I'll keep doing the work to get back to everyone, and just for myself now, just slowly get back out there without. I didn't want to overwhelm myself with the pace of life that I was getting used to now. All of a sudden, a new way of life, a new way of living, a new rhythm. So for myself, I just had to kind of get used to it, and I've been doing that. So again, just thank everyone, and it's good to be out.
so yeah, update there. It's positive. He's free, man. I also wanted to play or share with you this quote that was from Winston Churchill. And it's true. 126 years ago, he made the comment about how basically he was predicting that the UK or Europe, all in all, would fall to a militant Muslim faction if it wasn't stopped. This is it right here. And people say it's ironic with what you're seeing happening, like in the UK, especially in the laws and all that. It's getting tyrannical everywhere. It's been tyrannical. All right, the Michigan synagogue attacker. He has ties to the Iranian-backed Hezbollah in their rocket unit. So here we go. You can already see that these attacks in this stuff is all tied in together. I think they've said 4 of these attacks here recently are all being tied into blowback.
What we know about the man behind that attack just described, who he was, how he came to America. Let's bring in Usher Qureshi. Good evening, Usher.
Good evening, Tony. Well, CBS News is learning more about Ayman Mohammed Ghazali tonight. Overnight, federal agents raided his home behind me. Just 2 days before the synagogue attack, Ghazali, seen here on this security video, bought more than $2,000 worth of fireworks. Tonight, the FBI confirmed that fireworks were found in the truck. Ghazali was born in Lebanon and entered the U.S. legally in 2011 on a spousal visa, becoming a U.S. citizen 5 years later. He lived alone in Dearborn Heights, just down the block from his job at this restaurant. Now, on March 5th, family members, including Ghazali's two brothers, niece, and nephew, were killed when an Israeli drone attack struck their village in Lebanon, leaving him distraught, according to community members. A local journalist in Lebanon spoke to villagers who claimed Ghazali's brothers were members of Hezbollah's rocket unit, but would not provide their names. Now,
well, there you go. There it all is. That's direct connection. Are you kidding me? Maybe this, maybe that. Get out of here. That's direct connection. His brothers are part of the rocket unit. Direct connection. Had family members killed. That was direct retaliation. Direct retaliation driving into that place. And he used fireworks, for crying out loud. Sound like a kind of a desperate move. He lost his life in the whole thing. They said he set up an explosive. Well, it was fireworks, basically. It wasn't like a massive bomb or anything. He was distraught. It looked like if they got killed, he went and he thought, I don't know, it seems like he packed the thing with the closest thing he could find that would blow up. He went and bought a bunch of fireworks or something. I don't know. Which is odd because that Tesla that blew up in front of Trump Hotel was loaded with fireworks as well. Maybe that's a tall tale sign here, something you got to watch for. You see these cats, foreign cats buying large loads of fireworks that they're gearing up for a little sacrifice job. In the meantime, Democrat lawmakers in Minnesota passed a draconian gun law. So what they did is they kind of silenced the pro-gun group. They gave them just a few minutes on the floor and gave the anti-gun group 30-some minutes on the floor. The gun control support got 32 minutes of speak time, while the other side got just 6 minutes. And then you talk about not fair. So this is a result of what's happening up there. Let me tell you, the Dems are getting into power. And of course, we know it's a left-right paradigm, but there's some cold hard facts that come in here with this. When it comes to the Dems and some of these things, they're coming for guns. Okay. And it's just a fact that we don't want to be attacked. It doesn't mean you're Republican because you hate them for this reason, but it's a fact. The Dems are coming for guns. They have been. I just told you about the whole thing in Virginia, how it's been in Virginia. But this is just another instance. If they win this whole midterm thing and then Newsom or something gets in there crazy, like, you better watch out, man. They're going to come and they're going to clamp down. This is going to be the crazy, ironic thing. They're going to use all the laws that Trump put on the books, and they're going to clamp down this whole police state. Clip that one. That's your whore that's coming. Not your whores and your hoe, but your horror that's coming. That's right. It's coming. Newsom, they're showing me he's the man. This as much as they showed me that Trump was their man way before I told you. Newsom's bloodline. He's their man. That's why I see him taking this, and it's scary. It's very scary. So Trump is virtually setting he's setting the framework for all of it to be used right in front of you. He is giving the rope to the people to hang themselves with. This is crazy, but it's what's happening in real time. At least we have the eyes to see it. We got a grand jury indicting a former U.S. Marine for transmitting information to China. Seth Chambers, a civilian contractor in Iraq, was doing this. Secret level documents he was passing off to China, and he smoked. It just shows you, man, if They're definitely the enemy at this point. Trump tries to say that it's criminal about what the left-wing media is saying about Iran, and that the disinformation can cause problems, that they should be called up on treason. I'm so sick of him. He should be tried for treason. All the goons around him, for all the pedo shit, for all of it. It pisses me off, man, when it comes to children, and that I'm so done. What do you do at this point? Forget about it. Forget that they're PETA protectors. I don't. And like it's more disgusting and embarrassing every day that it goes on. I just told you, Iran is freaking calling them out for Epstein PETA protecting regime. That's what they're calling them. That is embarrassing, but they are right. Talk about being on the wrong side of things, but they are right. So this, it's fraudulent. I mean, he makes these comments also. I wonder, it's like I hear all this noise in the background. It's like he's on the plane. It's like, is all the press loaded on the plane with you while it's flying? Like, why is it so loud? Like, can't you shut off the engines while you're doing this or something? Like
That Iran wants to make a deal. However, earlier today we heard their foreign minister say they never said they wanted to make a deal, but they'll do whatever they can to prevent Iran.
What they tell you and what they tell the public. You know, I just put out a truth about their disinformation. I assume most of you saw it. And they used AI. They said they attacked the USS Abraham Lincoln, one of the largest ships in the world, an aircraft carrier, and they show pictures of it burning. It was never attacked, it was never burning. The Wall Street Journal put out a false story that 5 of our big, beautiful tankers that we feed the planes with, give the planes the gas, jet fuel, hundreds of thousands of gallons of gasoline, that they were all essentially destroyed. They weren't destroyed at all. In fact, 4 of them were not even, literally were not damaged. And 1 of them has slight damage and will be back in the air soon. But if you read the Wall Street Journal, it's like they were totally decimated and destroyed.
Okay, one thing he doesn't mention or speak on here is an accident that happened. We had 2 aircraft in the sky. They said collided, and we had the aircraft go down, and like multiple people killed in that. There are casualties coming in from this war. Skip that one and that one. Florida passes a voter ID bill. So this is a plus. It's in my opinion, you should have an ID to show you're American if you're going to vote, for this country. It's just kind of common sense. If not, anyone can infiltrate it. Any bad guy can infiltrate it with outsiders, and the whole thing's rigged anyway, right? Like, I don't trust none of it. But this is what's happening, nonetheless. This one, MTG taking to CNN of all places, which I think it's kind of hypocritical because she's done before, but now they're calling her up because she's not in a political seat, and they're using her to dog Trump, basically.
Yes, this is absolutely absurd, and it's 100% a betrayal to what MAGA was supposed to be when we voted in 2024, and it's turned into some perverted, deranged version of MAGA now that nobody wants. And a lot of people are just like, this doesn't make sense. And I'll go further, Pamela. We love our military, and God bless the men and women serving, and we love their families, and we do not want to see flag-draped coffins coming home in a war that does nothing for our own homeland. And then I want to add on something else. How insulting is it to Americans that the GOP can't even fund Homeland Security right now, our own government that protects our own homeland, while they're waging some war like 6,800 miles away in a country that none of us have ever been to. Again,
why do you think she said that? I told you earlier. Why is it down? Why is our DHS funding down right now? She just said it as well. Why? It's a setup. Something's about to happen. And if it's going to happen, it will happen while the funding is down, which means at any time. Because fundamentally, it won't stay down forever. They have these little things, these spats, and then finally they get the funding, they get it resolved, right? None of it always lasts forever. So, technically, we're on the clock. Wow. Man, I think about it. Yeah. They wouldn't miss this. They wouldn't miss this window. Huge red flag. Huge red flag right here. It's all starting to feel like right before 9/11. Tucker Carlson suggests that Trump and other officials be thrown in jail for the strike in terms of Iran. And I've got a couple clips here. He's not liking them.
You know, there are other players here. I didn't realize it was going to be a joint operation with a country that believes in Amalek. You know, whoever made that decision should be in jail.
They're like, what do you say? Yeah. Well, that's what he said. And let's go to the next one.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report, to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They read my texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power. And I don't expect this to go anywhere. I'm not too worried about an actual criminal case against me for a bunch of reasons. One, I'm not an agent of a foreign power. Unlike a lot of people commenting on U.S. politics and global affairs, I have only one loyalty, and that's the United States, and have never acted against it. Its interests are the only interests I care about because I'm from here and I have a lot of kids. So that's not a concern. I've also never taken money from anybody. Don't need it, don't want it, and that's provable. And moreover, it's my job to talk to everybody all the time and try and figure out what's happening around the world. That's literally what I do for a living, and I'm not going to stop doing that, nor should I don't think. I'm also an American. I can talk to anybody. I have no secrets to divulge. So legally, I think the case is ludicrous, and I doubt it will even become a case. I'm bringing this up for a couple of reasons, though, and they're pretty obvious. One is that countries tend to become more authoritarian in wartime. It's just the nature of war. People are dying. The stakes are high. People's emotions have risen to a very high point, to a crescendo. And so there's much less tolerance for any kind of dissent in the homeland. The irony, of course, is the United States fights wars on behalf of freedom, but there's always less of it here in our country during war. So that's a widely recognized phenomenon, and it's likely to happen now too. Another point to make that is worth knowing is that the USIC, the intelligence agency, spy on Americans. Now, you probably knew that, and it's been revealed a lot, including by Julian Assange and Ed Snowden, both of whom are threatened with death for revealing it, but everyone knows. But it's probably a little more widespread than most people understand, and it's outrageous. There's no justification for your government, which you own, you're a shareholder in it, you pay for it, to be violating your privacy like this. But it happens all the time. And in fact, one of the reasons that CIA or people within CIA, just to be clear, it's a huge, sprawling, disconnected agency. What it does in a specific case doesn't represent what everybody in the building thinks, but there are some people who are mad at me for my views about Israel. And they have some latitude. And one of the reasons they pass on criminal complaints, in effect, to law enforcement is to justify warrants for spying on Americans. So that is an absolutely real thing. But the main reason they do it is to leak the existence of the investigation, such as it is, to the media, and then humiliate and terrify the subjects of this op. And that's, of course, happened to me repeatedly, many times, including in famously 2021 when I was still at Fox News and trying to set up an interview with Vladimir Putin. And the NSA, I heard from someone there, had grabbed my text messages with an American citizen and had leaked them to news outlets. Those texts were basically my attempts to set up an interview with the foreign head of state, and they leaked them to the New York Times in order to stop the interview, which they successfully did, by the way, and they admitted that they were spying on me. This is not a fantasy. It actually happened. They did it again 2 years later. My second attempt to get a Putin interview, I managed to get it anyway, and they've done it since. And so when you get a call from a reporter who knows the contents of your texts, it's pretty clear something's going on. None of this, in my judgment, as of right now, is a huge threat to me, so I'm not making this video to complain about it or whine or ask you to send me money because I'm under attack. I'm saying it because it's true.
I want you to see that, they're attacking him here because he's obviously not aligning with the stuff Trump says. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, how many people is Trump going to attack that he doesn't get along with? Pretty much anybody, right? He doesn't like him. He points a finger. He's going to war with them. It's what it seems like.
And everyone knows they've been cheating for years. It's the first ever. And it's got.
Well, I'm not even going to play this whole clip. That's about this. I'm going to jump here to Vance because I think this is the more important thing. Vance is concerned big time about what all this war stuff's going to do to his odds and chances. He's no doubt he's not liking none of this. He spoke against it because he realizes, which it's pretty obvious, that people are not going to be happy about this whole war thing. It's going to tarnish his chance to become president. It's already affected it major.
What we're doing. Mr. Vice President, the president said earlier this week that you had a philosophical difference than him, that you were less enthusiastic on the onset of this war. Is that true, and what is your opinion of how it's going?
Well, I think you guys, again, I answered this question earlier. I'm sorry about that, Taylor. You asked this question earlier. When you're thinking about a major decision like this, the way the president makes these decisions is he talks to a lot of people. Obviously, we're thinking about various ins and outs, various options, what this looks like, how to accomplish our goals, what our goals should be. And I think it's important for the President of the United States to be able to have that conversation with his team without his team then running their mouth to the American media. So part of what makes our national security team so cohesive is that we all trust each other and we all have a very free exchange of ideas. I'd like to keep that going. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Interceptor, sir, is your plan?
He's basically saying somebody was snitching stuff out to the public, and he wasn't liking that.
What did you advise the president initially as he considered his actions in Iran, and what are you urging him to do now, especially with Americans seeing higher prices at the pump and some of the fallout from that across the economy? Do you express any concerns like those you've expressed in the past on the possibility of these extended wars?
Well, Bill, I appreciate the question. I know you guys have to ask it, but imagine the situation. We're in the situation room where you can't even take your iPod in there, or your AirPods, I guess what they're called. You can't take your iPhone in there. You can't take anything in there because it is the most classified space anywhere in the world. And I sit there with Pete Hegseth and General Kane and Marco Rubio and the entire White House team, and the president and I and the entire senior team are talking about the options and about what we need to do and about how we must best protect the American people. I hate to disappoint you, but I'm not going to show up here and in front of God and everybody else tell you exactly what I said in that classified room, partially because I don't want to go to prison, and partially because I think it's important for the President of the United States to be able to talk to his advisors without those advisors running their mouth to the American media.
So he said it twice. Apparently people are letting stuff slip, but I mean, the whole thing's controlled. Israel expects this war to continue into April. So for anyone out there that thought this thing was going to be over soon, they're not going to stop. Lebanon is going to last longer. Like, they don't care. They're bombing everyone. There should be protests all over the place to stop this. But there seemingly isn't. There's been over 200 U.S. troops wounded in Iran. And when it comes to Iran, we've got the UAE port in flames, and they're vowing escalation after we just hit them hard again. So it's like every time we hit them, they vow there's going to be a huge strike back. This whole thing with the Straits of Hormuz is nowhere near over. Look at this. British tourists face prison sentences in the UAE for filming the missile strikes and posting it. That's how much deception is going on out here. Trump says he's not ready for an Iran deal. He urges citizens to flee Iraq, to get out of there. Keep saying that many countries are going to send all these warships in there to stop all this stuff. In Iran, malls, they're only going to allow tankers to the strait if they conduct their trade in the Chinese currency. And this right here is one of the game changers. This right here is something that's going to be overlooked by a lot of people, but it's huge. Because this right here, look, forever, the whole game has been based on petrodollars, a connection of the US dollar to oil. Oil sells. It's been a deal through Saudi Arabia, and it's lasted like for a long, long time. It's how everything's worked. Well, that's getting shattered. Right here, they are shattering it. The commoner out there will miss this by a mile. They won't understand the significance, but this is absolutely huge. Huge. Can't put a title on it, on how big this is. This is the decimation of the dollar. This is challenging it in a war setting on the world stage. Like, dude, you talk about world war. Ain't no one pressed it to this extent ever. No one's challenged U.S. hegemony ever like this. No one's ran us out of the region, as they admittedly just did, and retreated to the west, is what Hegseth said. Those were his words. Retreated to the west to make sure we can fortify and secure the home front. You're telling every single person, India, and I mean everybody that comes through there, look, just show us the receipt that it was done, paid for in Chinese currency. You know how easy that is? The U.S. is not in a position, and they don't have the might to go to every single one of these people and point a gun at them at this point. Your luck's going to run out doing that. And everyone's running to China at this point. This is it. Like, expect oil to run to near $200 a barrel. It's going to be like nothing we've ever seen before. A lot of people are saying that. Martin Armstrong saying that. Is saying that this could result in bringing out the nukes. He's saying that, and this is a vital point, Iran is already in a spot where they don't have a lot of water. And they use water as a tool to control the people, just like North Korea does. North Korea gives food to the families that serve the army first. That's where the food goes first and foremost. So if you want to get fed, you join the army. You see how that works? Same thing happens with water. If they bomb this desalination plant in Bahrain, it will make this a crisis. And if they all know this, then the U.S. military knows this. But then the question becomes, is this a war crime? And Trump's already looking bad as it is. And they're talking about trying to get out of there. Trump's pissed because he wants to be viewed as a hero right now. It's all he wants to be seen as. He wants to be seen as W did after 9/11. That's his exact words. And he can't understand why people don't see him the same way. Because he lives in his own little stupid world. Dude's as evil as it gets. All he cares about is his accolades. And how can a dude ever expect a Nobel Peace Prize to be butthurt over that when you've bombed more countries in 1 year's time than anyone in history? Huh? He's a clown. He's a fraud. He's a disaster. His first term was nothing like this. Why? It couldn't have been. If you would have seen his fangs, if you would have seen him for what he really was, it would have never worked. It would have never worked. They painted him up to be something different, and he ran it different. And now, this time, he has nothing to hold back on. This is what they planned the whole thing for. So now you're seeing it all come unraveled. It's all coming out, all the bad. And they're going to, and he has no problem with that. But he's so stupid. He can't stop to understand that no one likes this. The rest of the people didn't sell out and submit to these dudes that wear black hats. Like you, chump. He's having a hard time wrapping his stupid little peon brain around it. And the people are revolting, and they should continue to. Because he's garbage. He's absolute trash. The man has shown me he has submitted to Mossad and that we're sold out. We're controlled by Mossad is what he showed me. 1,000%. Prove to me different. You're just a butthurt bitch if you're saying something else, in my opinion. Facts are there, Jack. I'm sick of it. He couldn't handle that. Bitch is not technically a cuss word, is it? Right? Female dog and heat. But I say it with such punctuation that, like, it startles people, I guess. It's why I don't cuss around here. I hit hard as it is, so I just barely say cuss words. I'm human. Try coming at me like I try to play this. I'll never say, oh, I'm perfect. I try not to cuss. I try not to do this. I had someone come up to me the other day. You act like you say you're an ordained minister. Do I sit up here like I'm some minister, a preacher, running a church? Do I do that? Am I doing that? No, I'm reporting the news. I do drop jewels more so than anyone you're going to find out that it does on how to get out of here. I do that, yeah, as well. But I'm hard like Sergeant Slaughter when it comes to this. It's just how it is. When it comes to the truth and realism, and some people can't take that. Sorry. I don't sugarcoat nothing. Pussyfoot nothing. When it comes to all this, you got to be as raw, real, and hard as it gets. It's owed to the people, to the game. And when I say some people out there acting like, as I just said, bitches, it's because they are. And the bottom of it, you know that a lot of people are too. And that's why we're in it. No one rises to go against the evil. No one goes and arrests the corruption ever. Not any day, ever. And that's what I'm talking about. People took an oath to defend this place against threats domestic. Not no one, a soul, does anything about it ever. Not anytime, any day, ever. So go back to your fantasy land, sleeping, complaining, people get butthurt over the smallest things, but oh well. Oh well, it's what it is. Um, People need to start rising, need to start making a change, need to start protesting in this country, and flexing. Not being scared that the feds are watching. If I was scared the feds were watching, like, we wouldn't do nothing. There'd be no shows. Would never went to any protests, cover anything, because they're everywhere. You can't live like that. You can't live in fear. You've got to push on. You got to be smart, though. I don't know, man. Lack of a movement in this country's hurting it. And as far as I can tell, we need something quick. We need something quick. I can't understand why no one's willing to ride. Is it a lazy thing? Or is it a scared thing? Both. Some people are going to say, oh, this shit, like, I don't, what is it? I don't know, man. Told myself I'm going to get over being hung up on trying to ride. I've been out here for 10 years trying to get people ready to rally and ride. And it seems that people just want to watch and do nothing. That's it. I could do these shows. People show up, but every time I call on some call to action, it's crickets. So, and I know there's a few of you. There's some of you out there that are down. I know who you are. You just like the same ones that support the show. It's always the same ones. And then there's others that just watch and don't do anything. I just don't get it. When we put this much energy and this much into the fight, and people can't even share, can't even say anything positive, can't even do anything, I don't get it. You wonder why we get nowhere. I thank all of you that do fight the fight. That's why I thank you so much for sharing. Like, I'm so censored. You get it in front of people's eyes that you could, look, we could all be following each other. And just because you shared it, like, the other 3 people in our group, like, will see it. But, like, they wouldn't even see me kick it out. That's how bad it is, man. Uncommon. I know you know the struggle. Much love. Another good news source right there. And thank you for your coverage. Everything that you do, make sure to follow Uncommon. He's down there in the El Paso area. And that brings me to Cuba. Suffers a total disconnection, lights out. Trump says that he sees a deal with them pretty soon. Well, look at the timing of the comments. Lights go out, and he's like, oh, yeah, we'll see a deal with them pretty soon. Oh, did you guys do it? Some are going to say no, but they're saying here Cuba didn't FAFO. They folded without any pressure, is what they're saying. I don't know what's going to come of this. There may not be. They may realize they're surrounded. That's what Trump ends up saying. I'm not even going to play this piece. That's what he says. And the lights out thing, though, is suspect to me. I feel like they kind of brought them to their knees. In the final story here of the night, Bibi's AI footage. Might as well bring up the feed here. Okay, so that you know, from the very first one that went out, people knew that this was AI. The problem that I made when I retweeted it, because I was busy, I looked down, I seen the whole thing, read it, and I retweeted it, but I didn't realize the image was someone made an error. The whole thing was, it was trying to say that he had 6 fingers, and in one of the frames, because it's AI, it does start to form like a 6th finger. You can see it, and there's other anomalies that we know of in that clip. But people were hung up on the fact that, yeah, the main image that was tweeted out had 5 fingers. And everyone's like, oh, I see 5 fingers. I see 5 fingers. I see 5. It's all they could say all day. And so that became more of a distraction than anything. That's why I removed my original post on it, just for that simple fact, not anything else. You've seen all the images that I reposted everywhere of him holding his hand up, and you could clearly see that the hand was forming another finger. And still, some people are so stupid out there, I swear. They'll sit there and defend what we know is proven AI ignorantly. Because we took the video over to Grok, and we're like, Grok, how much of this is AI? I think the whole thing's AI. You think, oh, okay. Good. Put it in the other AI. The whole thing's AI. It could see where it was stitched together and everything. Certain clips, like this one in particular, it was it's AI can go and take older videos that are out there and or anything and derive from it and stitch things together. It can do anything at once, but it's not perfect. And when 6 fingers pop up and this and that, it's AI. When ears start to distort and certain features, there's a logo on his jacket and it disappears from frame to frame, it's fake. This is the problem I got with this. This man, his home was hit by a hypersonic missile from Iran. They killed his brother. They admitted this. They even said that the top Mossad dude was killed. There's been no proof of life on Bibi since. Just AI slop. And people buying it. And then I seen over on X yesterday, all the main shills, their live stream says, oh, Bibi's alive after false rumors of. It's like, where's your proof? There was no proof. They were all just on there talking. It's like, who gave you the orders to do this, punk? Because I know that's where it came from. Why are you all on here at the same time doing it? It's obvious. 3 or 4 different streams, they're major shills, all saying the same thing, but showing no proof. Get out of here. Some of us are not stupid. We can take 2 steps back and see you by your moves. You're so stupid. You don't realize we can see that. That you all 4, 5, 6, all jump online, go live, talk about the same thing. That, oh, he's alive, pushing it with showing no proof. You're all regurgitating the same thing at the same time. It's obvious you were given orders. Some of us think that's stupid. So someone was giving them orders to push on social media the idea that this man's alive. We've yet to see a factual piece of information, anything that this guy's alive. Nothing, not one, because the latest one proven again to be AI slop. Okay? This one, they say Netanyahu shares proof that he's alive, and he puts up his hands, 5 hands, and that's how good AI is. And see, some people out there will fall for it. They'll see that he raised 5, like, oh, he's responding. It's got to be him. He's responding to everyone after talking. But wrong. You've been fooled by AI again. And shame on you for just assuming that it's got to be real. You got to stop doing that in the age of AI, because this is all fake. Throws up 5 fingers on both hands. That's all it took. And most people are like, oh, it's real. No, it's not. It's fake. It's garbage, man. Now, you're the same people that want to run over and ask, oh, Grok, is this? Go ask Grok if it's real. See how butthurt you get. It's fake. And now we're going to dive into why it's fake. Show you how it's fake. Get to it right here. And if you're one that catches this stuff, you got a good eye for this, man, email me, dabu7@yahoo.com. It's worth pointing out because people need to see this stuff because they're just going to fall for it left and right. You see this? See the ring? No ring. You see that? See that? That quick, that easy? That's how bad AI sucks. The good, it's good, right? It can do a lot of things, but it's not perfect. And if you got the eye to see, this is one example right there. It does these types of things all day long. It messes up on wording. It messes up on like the finger thing. It messes up on small little details like the ring. And anyone that knows this right now in this little window of AI time where it's making these errors, because eventually they'll fix this. And that's scary. That's what's really scary. But in the meantime, we're in this loop, right? We're in this spot here where it's not perfect. It's not perfected yet. And they're literally they're using it anyway because they believe people are that stupid. Why do they believe people are that stupid? Because these demons run around and murder people all day long, and people don't do anything to stop them. People don't have the cojones to step up and stop them anytime, any day. Never. That's pretty sad. That's pretty bad. So they think they could do whatever they want. This feels to me like Bibi is dead, injured, just like the new supreme leader is said to be. Like any one of these things could be. He could be injured, have a leg blown off. He could be in a coma. He could just simply be in hiding. Because if he gives away his position, he's gone. They bombed his home. They hit back. That's probably something they never thought was going to happen. Hitting too close to home, let me tell you. Hitting one of Bibi's homes. I mean, this is after they struck and killed the Ayatollah. Like, they were going to strike back fierce. They were going to. And I'm not so sure that as the war is still going on, that this is a hand that the West wants to show right now. And I'm going to say this. All right. Again, these videos are AI slop. You hear me? It's AI slop. I showed you. We've proved it. For anyone out there saying, oh, but like garbage. I got one more right here. Oh, this is talking about the BB doubles. They all got doubles out there. See, in that right there, people were trying to say, oh, yeah, he's alive. And they were trying to clown it. Other people were onto it quick. Look at all this AI. I got all kinds of AI crap. See, I mean, it's just, I could tell it's AI because I'm watching so much of it and seeing so much of it every day. It's not perfect. Like I said, and right now at this point in time, if you've got a good eye for it, you can make out. You can catch all the stuff like right there. There was one more. I was what this must be caught. I am. I'm in the post. Let me go back. Try to get on my feed here. There was one other right here. What's it say? For the first time in power, Netanyahu skips a national military council meeting, not even joining remotely. All the dudes look highly stressed. And could have swore there was one more. Probably already passed it. Oh, yeah. Link to our music for those just now chiming in. It's official. It's over on X. We're on all platforms. Spotify, all over the place. Me, Hoodie Ross. Yeah. Just search Dabu7 and you'll find it. I've got more coming. Got a new one I'm going to drop with Kiki D. Bonnie and Clyde 2026. It's going to be fire. And war. You better get ready for war with Fire to Flame. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to drop, though. I got to figure out where I'm going to go through. If I'm going to keep going through TuneCore or try somewhere new to distribute the music. TuneCore takes a couple weeks. That's why it always takes long. If I go to DistroKid or somewhere different, it get kicked out quicker. I may try them. But I'm already paying for TuneCore. I would have to pay for DistroKid. Yeah, so we'll see. I was going to point out here before we left that there was another meeting. They said the 7th meeting that Bibi missed. But you get the point. They keep serving AI slop. I don't believe until I see proof of life, real proof of life. Anything's possible at this point. We are in full-fledged war. Remember, and bombs, hypersonics have been making their way through the Iron Dome and hitting Tel Aviv and smoke Bibi's house. It would be smart to maybe even fake your death at this point. Honestly. If they're targeting you like that, I mean, real deal. Anything can happen out here. EC says, can we do 11 at least, please? No, I think that brings it to an end here tonight, man. 10:17. About right on cue. Check the email there real quick. Always check the email here before I make the decision. And then check the chat. And I want to thank everyone that shares the stream. Appreciate it to the fullest. Again, Steve, earlier for those coffees, appreciate it to the fullest. All the prayers appreciated out there. Much love, Kenzo. Thank you, Deanne. Everyone, so much for joining, for hanging out. And thank you, Bone Score. Everyone out there for the love. I got some fire I'm working on here. Hopefully, as an update, what's going on with me. I get some updates here soon. I just constantly been trying to figure out what's happening with me. No one could ever tell me what's going on. And I got all these tests lined up and all this stuff. So things get knocked out. Either I get answers or I don't again. MRIs, all this other stuff. So hopefully get answers. If not, I don't even know what to say. Much love, Joe. Everybody out there, again, Crown Jewels, all my cats out there. I appreciate it. Working on new music. I so bad want to play it and feature it, but it's just not done. I've got two that are right there. Get ready for war. You better get ready for war. And Bonnie and Clyde 2026 featuring Kiki D, which I think is both. Think you like them. So stay tuned for more. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll be back next time for some Underground World News Live, 8 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Thank you for all the love. Take us out of here on the dream. Much love. God bless. He says play him. I'll go ahead and play this one. I'm gonna go ahead and play that. I'm gonna go ahead and play Do What It Do if you missed it.
When we lock arms and the work's begun,
New Crown Jewels.
is what has become. From nothing to something on this world.
Much love.
We make it do what it do now. You need to learn to walk before you run, and learn to aim before you shoot a gun. Life's a blessing, so bring perfection and make it do what it do now. Yo, it's that time again to make it do what it do. So I'm holding down the track like duct tape or Gorilla Glue. It's what do. There ain't no touching the mic after I've knew the move with the flame of truth, the flames to prove. Of course. The range I aim and shoot, cause I fire the flame and all I aim to do. Whether throwing the dart or just shooting hoops, it's all the same mentality I do to do. Lyrical kung fu, it's chop the beat like karate. My pen bleeds ink, we're not extinct on classics. I've battled left and right, commies and fascists, and seen the code to practice vanish like magic. So fuck the fear code, it's all I hear for years. So when the fear appears, close your ear hole. We revere our heroes, and not in here, yo. We ain't having no weirdos. The game's full of De Niro's, actors in suits. So the two texts took 2 steps to quickly regroup. We keeping it true, strictly culture and roots. And flames a name you can trust to make it do what it do. When we lock arms and the work's begun, and what comes out is what has become. From nothing to something on this world we're on, we make it do what it do now. You need to learn to walk before you run, and learn to aim before you shoot a gun. Life's a blessing, so bring perfection and make it do what it do now. Now by the grace of God, I make it do what it do, and breathe life into minds. If you knew, you knew. To never take a guess, they say give us a clue, cause since 1992 we've been ripping mics into a scene of likes of you and you in person. And none of these cats can fuck with the third gen. In satanic pentagrams is where they'll burn them. Before a drop of whack verse, the world will end. I do what I do, and that's why I know when my pen touch paper, I make minds blow. I've been surprising folks with these timeless flows. Words plucked out the ether like they found at home. I'm writing poems to beats, making sense of life. I came into this world just to bless the mic and make it do what it do whenever I recite. I always knew from a kid that this would be my life, and that's why today I still do what I do. I'm looking for perfection in all I do, it's all for you. Hip-hop and God's chosen few, make it do what it do and get what's sold to you. When we lock arms and the work's begun, and what comes out is what has become. From nothing to something on this world we're on, we make it do what it do now. You need to learn to walk before you run, and learn to aim before you shoot a gun. Life's a blessing, so bring perfection and make it do what it do now.
What's left to be said? What's left? What's left?
I got it, Silk.
What's left to be said? What's left? What's left to be said? What's left? What's left? What's left to be said? What's left to be said?